One of my favorite voices I do is for a phone company, actually. And I do their training for all their employees. The name of this character is Paige. So she says, "Hi, I'm Paige, and I will be your guide through this course. Welcome." And she kind of has a smile all the time. She has a little bit of kind of a rough sound to her voice at the same time, but she's always super happy. So yeah, she's definitely one of my favorite characters that I do. I've always been kind of known as kind of a quieter person, but when I can sit behind a microphone and not have to look people in the eye, it's something blossoms. I don't know, something comes out of me that I probably doesn't come out when I'm, interacting with other people. I'd never even thought about doing something like that, and I think a lot of women probably don't go down that avenue because, 10 years ago, you heard a lot of deep male voices. But my brother had one of those voices, and he was working at the radio station at the college I was attending. He asked me, "Hey, are you interested?" And I'm like, "Sure, I wouldn't mind earning a few extra bucks to pay for food." And so that's how I got into it. And then I was actually going to school to become a teacher and went and did some observations, and I thought, you know what, I really hate this. There's no way I want to go back to high school. And I thought, well, I really love this radio thing, so maybe I'll do broadcast journalism. I had a boss, he said, "Hey, you should stop doing this radio thing and do voiceover because you can make a lot more money." Here I am today, 15 years later, still doing it. I would first tell them to not give up right away because they're probably not going to be very successful to start out. I actually asked for advice when I first started, and I had a lady tell me, "Don't worry if you're not making a ton of money right at the start, but if you stick with it, it will build up over time." I would tell people to do a lot of listening. I remember when I was working one summer at the radio station, I would drive home every day. It was about a 30-minute drive, and I would listen to the national lady on air, and I would just imitate her and try to sound like her because she sounded so natural and smooth. And so, yeah, I just did a ton of listening. Just buy a microphone and start. Just dive in, because that's how I started, and eventually they'll get somewhere if they're dedicated and stick with it. I've done so many. I don't think I can pinpoint one, but the ones that I do where it makes a difference and it's about a cause that matters to people. I did one about teenage marriage in third world countries, and just it was more of a public service announcement, just letting people know that this is happening, all over, and it's not okay. So those kinds of projects, those probably mean the most to me. I've done some, I think, non-broadcast Walmart ones. I thought that was pretty cool, and I can tell my husband I worked for Walmart, and he's like, "Oh, wow." But he likes it when I do video game voiceovers. It's just fun to get into a different character and pretend you're someone else for a couple minutes. I guess my ultimate dream in voiceover is to book an ongoing national commercial. That's kind of my ultimate goal at this point. But my other bigger ultimate goal is just to be a good mom and a good wife, and a good sister, a good daughter, and I try and keep my life pretty balanced. So balance is the ultimate goal, so if I can get that national commercial one of these days, that would be amazing. But meantime, I'm trying to keep my life in balance so that I can give everyone the attention they need and give myself a little attention for now and again too. I think people are the most important thing in this world, and so I think people should always come first, and my little people are the most important people to me. That's why I try and find this work-life balance. I have a friend, and she's been looking for a job, and she ended up getting a job, and she's gonna have to send her kids to daycare. I just feel so blessed that I can be here for my kids and have this wonderful career. It's been a huge blessing in my life. I like that every job has a minimum. Nothing goes below $100. I mean, some of these services want you to do stuff for $20, and I don't feel like they really value the talent that people have. In that way, I feel like I'm valued at Voices.com because I feel like you guys value our talent, and and put a number to that. And I really like working with the people there at Voices too. You guys are all super nice and super helpful all the time. And if I whine or complain, you usually help me out by giving me some good answer to help me feel better. So yeah, I've had a really good experience. Voices.com and I have been a part of each other since the beginning of my journey. And so I guess that's why they're important to me, is because they've helped launch my career basically, and gotten me to where I am today. And I mean, I'm doing really well. I've had a lot of success, and a lot of that is because of Voices.com. I love Voices. You guys are great, and I love working with you, and I hope that you guys like working with me and that we can continue our relationship for another 12, 20 years.